Hey outdoor enthusiasts, it's Jimmy River here again. I'm going to do a little tabletop review for you guys today of 3 fixed blade knives that I own. The Gerber Grylls Ultimate Knife, and that's the serrated and fine blade version. I've got the SOG Seal Pup and the Buck 119 Special. I'm going to focus this review mainly on the sheaths, the carryability, the EDC, everyday carry, use a few customizations I've done to each knife. And then a little bit of a look at them, how they compare up and how they stack up. And then with a comparison based on the knives I have in the back, some of my older knives, a couple of new ones that I have to refer back to. So we'll start off with the Bear Grylls Ultimate Knife. I've had this knife about 2 months. Full-blown survival knife, as you can see. It's marketed as a survival knife. I haven't done much to this knife except I've added a small little lightweight lanyard that you can see to keep the fire starter from falling off. A couple of reviews have said that that could be a problem with this blade, but I took care of that. The sheath is it's pretty nice. It's a little bit chunky to carry. I think if you wear it on the side like this, it does stick into you a little bit. It's not a big deal, but it's really noticeable if you sit down. So the sheath is a little bit chunky, but it's really solid. It's got nice carrying mounts. You can carry it obviously on a pack, vertically, horizontally through a belt loop. It's got the nice instructions here that have been covered previously, but it's easy to open. I like to pop the knife out like this. I mean, you got to practice when you're carrying a knife how you're going to get it out. I generally tuck the lanyard underneath the Velcro strap like this. So this knife from the side, you can just whip this, and then I go like this. I put my thumb like this, and then pop it up like this. Versus, especially if you don't have it tied down underneath, then it pops right out. There you go. Seeing this is a great blade. I wish the fine edge had come back a little bit longer. The serrations are a little bit long, but Bear designed it, so I mean, obviously this is a survival knife. It's super thick. It's got a great long, drop point blade. It's got the mark there for the fire starter. This thing, I haven't used it yet. I've stroked it a couple of times. It works great. It puts out a lot of spark. So this knife's burly. I've sharpened it up quite a bit out of the box. It wasn't super sharp, but the serrations obviously are. There's the other side of it. It does come in a fine edge version as well. This thing's burly for batoning. Perfect. Obviously, it's very thick on the top. You can see. So I've used this blade in the woods so far. I've only had it for about 2 months. So back into the sheath. It's easy to put in. I haven't put on any stuff underneath yet to tie it around my leg like I did with my SOG, but I'll show you that. Anyway, it's easy to get apart. Obviously, you've seen the other reviews. It's got the sharpener. I haven't used this yet. I use a bunch of other sharpeners, but it's got the diamond stone underneath. You can remove this. So I wish they'd made this a little rounder. That's a little easier to wear, but this is like these points right here. Anyway, not to get over technical, this is a great knife. So on your side it would look like this, and just a quick comparison to the SOG. Just smaller and lighter. How they line up like that, you can see. I like the SOG sheath way better. You'll see. We'll get into that right now. Anyway, that's good with Bear Grylls. You can just see it's a great knife. We'll move on to this knife, which I use a lot more. Again, you've seen my other review. I hike a lot. I'm in the woods a lot. I want a knife that is probably to carry all the time, a little smaller and lighter than this, the Bear. So the SOG Seal Pup, this sheath is great. This is a great knife. Same exact price, $49.99 for both knives at Walmart. I got all my knives at Walmart pretty much. On my other review, I briefly touched on this one. This sheath is incredible. I mean, first of all, I'll talk about the knife and how you wear it. If you look at the back, I'll take this down. I put down a legging already, legging tie down. I put a little hanger thing on there I made. But this thing's incredible. You can undo this. You can put this on anywhere. It really is easy to get a belt through, much easier than the Bear sheath. Your corners are tapered a little bit more, and the way the knife sits is higher up, so it doesn't. This thing doesn't dig in. The way they've designed it is much better. So when you put this on, you can see that when you put this blade knife on, it sits much nicer, I think, than the Bear. Okay, obviously this is a smaller blade. Deployment of this knife is real easy. You can see now this is great. I really like how this is velcroed. Look, you got Velcro, so you can, if you want to have it quick to get at it, you can leave it like that. And then there's a snap, but Velcro all the way around. You can see I've made, again, another one of those little bead lanyards that I like to make, and I've actually put it through the Velcro like that. Excellent. So you open it up, obviously, on your side, quick to deploy if you want to. The knife pops out. Knife comes out real easy. I've heard some reviews say that you can catch it on here. It's kind of, you just got to watch that. It's a little bit tricky getting it back in, but there's a nice plastic liner, so it just slides in nicely. You can see. Okay. Put it back in. I want to talk about the sheath a little bit more, because one of the things I love, again, I talked about it a little bit before in the other review, is this little pouch you get on the SOG Seal Pup knife. Now I just have a Gerber multi-tool in there, but one thing I'd love to do is to take a second knife, a Grylls Scout, which is what I like to do. Pop it in there like that. Okay. SOG Seal Pup. Simple tie around. This knife lanyard, you can sit down with it when it's tied down. It rides up nice. So EDC, okay. This knife's black. It's much more subtle when you're carrying it around. I mean, this is a survival knife. This knife, you can see. Now let's just talk briefly about the blade. Getting it in and out of here again, super easy. Love this. This blade is really a combo between the Bear and the Buck 119. If you look at it, it's more of a clip point. It's got the serrations. The serrations are shorter than on the Bear Grylls, which I like. The fine edge is longer, but it's really this. I mean, knives aren't marketed. This is a stabbing knife a lot more than I think a survival knife. It's great for cutting. This is the sharpest out of the box of any of the knives on the fine edge. This thing is super sharp. Really like the handle is super light. You can see my lanyard. I can talk to you about nylon welding anytime if you guys want another vid on that. But anyway, great. This thing's super light. Ergo in the hand, very grippy, and this grip is really hard. That glass reinforced nylon, GRN, I think is what they call it, is great. So there is, they call it a little choke up point underneath. It would be nicer if the effective edge went back a little further, I think, but I'm not going to diss it for that. And I do like the thumb on top. Again, aggressive blade. I go hiking in the woods, I want a blade that's going to be multi-purpose, but if I want to stab something in this thing, this is a self-defense knife, I think. It's a seal knife. Could be used for some bushwork, but anyway, we won't talk about that today. Sets up nice, obviously. Enough of that. Love the sheath. Let's just talk about one of my favorite knives overall, the Buck 119. Okay. I love this knife. $49, or I think $44 actually it was. It was $5 cheaper. Great sheath. The way this, I've built a little bit of nylon welded another little loop to hang it, and then this thing is so great because you can wear this knife. I like to wear it. It's kind of like swordy style, like this. It just hangs beautifully like this in a belt loop. Deployment is great on this knife. Super ergo, boom. You can do this in your sleep. It slides right out. This baby's sharp. Super classic Bowie. Okay. Clip point. I mean, enough said. Stainless steel. I've heard a lot of customization of these. You wrap paracord around the grip. It's a little bit. It's not as slippery as you would think, but I love the just the metal. I mean, the way the workmanship of this thing is great. The pommel, I mean, this is the way it's gorgeous. Great in your hand. Buck 119. But again, back to the sheath. Really ergo, easy to carry. I love this. So how they compare on your side. Let's see if I can pull this off. I can put them all up here. Just see the size of them on you. All three. Like that. Okay. They're nice. I want this one first on me. I'm going to take this one second. I mean, if you're just going to go on a hike or whatever. If I wanted to smash a car window, get in and cut somebody out or whatever, I'd rather have this. That pommel's sweet. That's pretty much it for today. I'll get into some other knives next time. We got that Bear Grylls folding sheath knife, which I love. Again, the Gerber Gator 2. And some old classics. Everything's based on history, so I always leave my Buck 119, my Buck 110, my Swiss, my Leatherman, and my original stainless steel. This knife is 40 years old. Over and out. Be prepared. Every day. Carry.